What's crack-a-toeing, folks? I'm Gypsy, but you already knew that. I want to welcome you guys to this somewhat tutorial, I guess. It's not really a tutorial. I'm really just sharing with you guys my own personal method of managing my mods. It's also partially in response to a comment from one of my viewers. Love My Life 65 left me a comment saying, I would love to see how you manage your mods. I have some CC that I want to take out, but I don't know how to find them in my mods folder. I don't know how to find the name of the CC, and that is a problem that I think a lot of us have. I use a combination of applications to help me to manage my mods. So I'm just gonna go like in order one by one to show you what I do and how each of them tie into each other. So first and foremost, you want to have your game turned off while you're doing most of this. It will not work properly if your game is on. You got your game running. So let's make sure that we turn our games off when we're manipulating files. And it's okay if you're not a techie person, because I'm definitely not. I'm learning as I go a lot while I'm trying to figure out how to mod my game. But you don't have to be some expert tech nerd. No offense to the tech nerds. You don't have to be one of them for this to work for you. You don't have to understand what you're doing. You just have to know how to do it, if that makes sense. So first of all, here's my mods folder, okay? This is as organized as I think I'm going to be when it comes to my mods folder. You can see all these files down here are not in any particular folders. Those are things that need to be sorted through. And it looks like a nightmare because when you click on your mods folder, all you see is just, what is this? You know, there's no way to really tell one thing apart from another thing. And this is part of the nightmare of trying to deal with your mods. So we have a solution for this problem. So first, let's talk about adding things to your mods folder, because that's where a lot of us come into problems. We just keep adding and adding and adding stuff and we're not keeping track of what's going on. But once you see what I'm doing, you'll see you don't need to keep track of what's in your mods folder. These apps will do it for you. This app is called CurseForge, and there's also a website you can go to use CurseForge. So either way, whether you download the app or you go straight to the website, you can access everything that's on CurseForge. What this app does is it actually reads my mod folder for me. So I just clicked on this button here, the Sims 4, and then it like refreshed everything. These are my actual mods that are in my game, and I can see their thumbnails, which makes it so much easier to figure out what everything is. And if I see anything that I don't like, I can literally just click on it, go here, and delete it, and it will get rid of it whether or not I downloaded it from CurseForge. So this gives me a lot of options, and if you just want to use this to help you to manage some of your mods and you don't have a ton of mods in your game, then you should be okay with just this, and you can just stop right here. This is a huge help for a lot of people to be able to see what's in their game. However, as you guys can see, I can just scroll on and on for days because I have over 3,000 in my game. This is not just the cast mods it's showing me literally all of my mods. Some of these don't have actual thumbnails like this, and some of them are just actual game mods. So like this right here, SMB Bank, this is not a cast mod, it's a gameplay mod. So even something like this, if I wanted to get rid of it, then I could just delete it. That's what I use CurseForge for, mostly to import mods. The reason why I like to use this is because it eliminates my need to have to go online and then search website after website after website, open tab after tab after tab. Like, that is too much. And then y'all already know the nightmare of TSR. Like, the Sims Resource is a really great website for finding really great stuff, but unless you have a paid membership, it be taking forever for each thing to load into your downloads folder, and then from there you also have to import it into your mods folder, and it's just so time consuming. I don't got time for it. What I do here is I'll find something I like. I'll just, you can search keywords up here. I put in shirt, and then it's bringing up everything that's labeled with the word shirt in the tag someplace, and then you can click on something that catches your fancy, like maybe something like this, very simple hoodie vest. I can see from these screenshots that they're Maxis match, and that's what I'm looking for. If I like it, then I'll just hit this install button, and look at this. Look at how quick. This was a zip file, but it opened it up for me. So when I go into my mods folder, which I'm not going to show you here, I'm going to show you in a different app. It's somewhere in here, right down here. It's somewhere in here, but we're not going to go in there looking for it because it's too time consuming. Literally just click a button. You don't even have to click the thumbnail, read all this stuff if you don't want to. If you have a trusted creator whose stuff you just like, and you're like, oh, Veronica, I love their stuff, and you see something new by them, and you're like, I don't need to look at all the thumbnails and pictures. like I know what I want, then you can literally just hit the orange button right here in thumbnail mode and install it right away into your game, and it will just work. CurseForge is very versatile for trying to find lots of different creators in one place without having to wait for download screen times. Like, you don't have to worry about anything like that. I'm just gonna download one more thing from here that I know I'm probably not gonna want to keep, so I can show you guys what I do when I have to delete things. Okay, let's go with this Miley shirt and we'll install this. The other thing I do is I'll go to an actual website of some creator whose stuff I want to perhaps download. For example, this set here, this bathing suit set. Maybe this is something that I would like to try out. I can download each piece here, package by package by package, but let's just download the zip file because I want to show you guys what I do with zip files to make things so much easier for myself. I'm going to go to the downloads page. I'm going to right click this and extract everything. All these files here, which are the same files that were on the website, I could have downloaded one by one. I'm gonna go to my second app that I use, Sims 4 Mod Manager. In this manager app, you can do a higher level of management. CurseForge automatically puts everything into my mods folder for me and unzips files. But now I have a zipped file that I extracted into my downloads folder. So I'm gonna go to whatever folder that you have your files in. You may not have this in your downloads folder. I'm gonna open up this and then click all of these packages, right? Then open, and what it will do is if I hit import all, it will just automatically move all of these files into my folder. But see here, I can skip this file or import this file, right? I can see that there's a thumbnail here that shows me what this is. It's a pair of flip-flops. I don't actually need a pair of flip-flops in my game because I already have some that look identical to these. So I'm gonna hit skip file. That means this file was skipped over and it's not going to be added into my mods folder. And then I have this little skirt thing here, so now I'm gonna hit import that file, and I'll keep doing that, import or skip for the stuff that I want to keep and the stuff that I don't want. Let's import these pants. I know I don't need these pants, and I can just hit skip file, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna show you what I do with stuff after I already imported it into my game. Then I figured later that I don't want it anymore, right? So let's import this for now, and we'll import this for now. And then when I go to my folders tab, you'll see here, these are all of my mods that are unsorted. There's 7 pages worth. What that is a visual version of everything that is here, that is completely unsorted stuff. All this is 180 something files here. When I go to Mod Manager, I can actually see every single piece of items that are there in that 186 items. So from here, if I wanted to, I can just look for the stuff that I know I don't want or don't need, which I do this often. Like with hair, sometimes you have like hair dumps and it's just a bunch of random hairstyles and you don't actually want or need all of those. That's what I'll do. I'll come in here and be like, oh, I don't need this one, don't need that one, and I'll just click all the ones that I don't need. This is a lot more convenient when it comes to deleting than when I'm in CurseForge and I'm like clicking on one thing at a time. I can't mass delete stuff here, so I have to do literally everything one at a time if I want to delete something. But with Mod Manager, I can delete multiple things at the same time. So all I'll do is I'll filter everything by folders. Right now, this is not a specific folder, it's just my mods folder in general. So everything that's sitting in my mods folder, I can see here. This top and this bottom, I know I'm not going to keep these items. So if I want to, I'm gonna select them. They turn green when you select. You can deactivate it, which means it's still in your mods folder. But when you run your game, it will not be working in your game. You will not see a thumbnail for it. It will be as if it doesn't exist in your game. That actually comes in handy for me when I'm trying to test things and I want to see if something works better or worse in my game. So if there's like a hair that I don't quite like how it sits on my Sim's head, I'll deactivate it, and then when I go back into my game, I'm not distracted by the thumbnail popping up if I haven't quite made up my mind about whether I want to take that thing out or not. Or if I'm telling myself like, okay, I think that this piece of CC is clashing with other CCs, I just want to see, and then I'll deactivate it and see if it's working better. Like for example, with a gameplay mod, it may not be so useful for cast, but for gameplay mods, sometimes I need to deactivate it to see if it works. When I use the standstill and cast mod, sometimes that will clash with updates that are happening in my game, because you know Sims 4 updates really frequently. So every time there's a new patch update or something, it might make something not work properly. I don't want to get rid of it because I still need that mod, so I'll just click on it, I'll deactivate it. My Sims won't stand still and cast anymore until I reactivate that thing. And you can also look for all your deactivated mods here. Like when I hit deactivate, I gotta go to overview first and then hit deactivated. Then see, I have a folder here that has this CineSim's Classic Cast Room, it's not activated. But if I click this, I can activate it if I want. The reason why it's not activated is because I have a completely different cast background that I'm using right now, and you can't have more than one cast background in your game that's active. So this mod manager makes it possible for you to have mods inside your game that's kind of on pause, where you don't have to completely remove them altogether from your mods folder, and you can just go and reactivate them when you feel like it. So when I get tired of the cast background I'm using right now, or if I want to use a different one, I'll just go and deactivate that one and reactivate the one that I want to use. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying, because sometimes I can get very wordy. As far as deleting stuff, this allows you to delete things like this very easily and simply. Click on the stuff you don't want and go up here and hit the delete button, and then when you hit delete selected files, it will get rid of it for you. But I'm not going to do this right now because there's another thing I want to show you guys. I have the majority of my mods organized, so I just put like a 0 for custom content, because I know I'm gonna be going into this folder a lot, so I needed to jump up to the top of my searches, and I can't put everything in alphabetical order necessarily. And then down here, if I download something new, whatever category I want the subcategory to be in. So right now I went to custom content, hair, and then inside my hair folder, these are all my subfolders. Right here, I would add Simplicity hairs, right? And then when I hit add, that's gonna create a brand new folder for me. So you never have to even bother with your actual nightmare of a mods folder, creating folders and subfolders and going in. You don't even have to do this at all. Also, you gotta be careful, because see how right here it says Green Llama's hair 0? But I have a ton of hairs inside this folder. Why is this in here? Smarter pie menu. This should not be in here. Okay, so look. So here's a great example. All right, so this doesn't belong in this folder. I don't know why this ended up here. It's a game mod. So I'm gonna click this. When you go to these arrows, it allows you to move things into other folders. So I'm gonna go to functional mods, because that's a folder I have for just general gameplay mods right here. And then it'll keep asking me if I want to go into subfolders here, which I don't need to do for this. So then when I hit move files, see how it disappeared? Now that file is over in that folder. All right, so then I go to overview. Right here, I'm going to put the word smarter, and then it's going to look for everything that has the word smarter in it. Now we know it should be here in functional mods. So smarter pie menu, that's the thing that I just moved in here. Yeah, so this is a great way for me to find stuff when I'm trying to look for specific pieces of CC or mods. So I just leave everything labeled the way the creators labeled everything, so that when I want to go back and find stuff, I just have to put the creator's name, and I don't have to remember exactly what the item was that I'm trying to get rid of, because the thumbnails will show up here, and I can just use that as my guide to figure out what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. That's an overview of how I use Mod Manager in conjunction with CurseForge, but there's another app that I use as well that really ties in the part where my viewer was saying sometimes I don't know what the file is even called to be able to figure out where it is and how to find it. Like, if I don't know what the CC is called, it's impossible for me to even use Mod Manager to find that item unless I literally go through 3,532 pieces of content, folder by folder by folder, to try to find something. Because what if I put the piece in like the wrong folder, like that one that I was just looking at that was completely in the wrong folder? I don't know how it ended up in there, but it did. If there's like a piece of hair in here and I'm looking for it and I don't know that I put the hair accidentally into a tattoo folder, how am I supposed to find this thing, right? And then to make it even worse, what if it doesn't have a thumbnail? Because some of the files don't have thumbnails. To make it even worse, what if the creator either didn't put their name on the tag, because I've seen that happen before, or I just don't remember. I don't remember who the creator is, and there's no thumbnail in game to show me what that creator's name is. Well, that's where this comes in handy. So this is called Tray Importer. I don't know what the function of this mod actually is. Like, I don't know what the purpose of it is, or if it's something else people use this for other than what I'm using it for. But I'm just gonna show you what I do with it. So don't come and ask me like, what other features does it have? Because I really don't know, honey boo boo. And when I figure that out, I'll be glad to share it with you guys. But at this time, I don't know. I know I can use this to get rid of some CC though. So this is what you do, right? I'm gonna come back to this after we start up the game, and I'll show you what I do to try to find CC that I can't figure out how to get rid of from here, from Mod Manager. Again, please do not try to get rid of anything in your game when you've got your game turned on. Don't change any files, don't manipulate anything, don't do a thing. All this you see here, these are all of the CC pieces that these Sims are wearing, okay? Their clothes, their hair, their makeup. I'm going to give my Sim every piece of CC that I don't want. that I don't like, or the specific piece of CC I cannot find. My game generated starter sims are like so on point right now because I have this mod that I'm using that generates specific sims when you start up. Okay, yeah, Lulicorn Cast starter sims. This is a great mod that has helped me so much to have good looking starter sims without having to mess around with them up front. This is totally a side note. Y'all know how I am. I just be like having tangents because I got super ADHD, so everything just distracts me. But anyway, what were we talking about? I just recently cleaned all my CC out, so I don't really have that much in here that I don't want. Can we make you bald? Yeah, let's make her bald. And then we'll go look for the clothes instead. So I can't remember what those clothes looked like. What they look like? It was, oh yeah, it was those bathing suits. All right, so here's one of the tops that I said I know I'm not gonna need. Okay, just for kicks. Let me look at these swatches right quick though. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Maybe I will use this. You know what? Let me stop because I'm getting out of control. I already have so much CC in my game. I really don't need this. Okay, I'm not gonna keep it because I like 2 swatches. All right, so let's take this shirt that I know I'm not gonna use, and then we're gonna go to the bottoms. We'll go look for those panties. All right, I'm not gonna ever use these pieces. I don't need them. I already have a bajillion things in my game that looks like this. You'll dress your sim in head to toe. Everything that is custom content that you do not like, right? Okay, so let's say she's got on some shoes that we hate, and the same with the hair. And then for each, you can go up here and create more outfits. Once she's filled up with outfits, you're gonna go and look for, and the same for the boys too. So we got Satchon Sims here, one of my favoriteest sim tubers. This don't look nothing like him though. Satch, who made this? Because he don't look like you. I would have to do some tweaking to him. So let's see if there's any boys clothes that I don't like or need. You want to go through every single category of CC you have. So you have your tops, your bottoms, full outfits, shoes, accessories, hairstyles, whatever it is. All right, well, for the hell of it, let's go with this jersey top. I feel like I've been contemplating whether or not I should keep this in my game for a while now. And anytime I contemplate whether I want to keep something or not, I always end up eventually taking it out. I mean, let's just keep it real. Most of the hairs in here are things that I don't mind. Maybe these, they're very alpha hairs. Sometimes the graphics, they look like they're moving. Like even when it's still, it looks like it's moving around. Does that sound bizarre? You know, it's very well made, but it just becomes very distracting to me. So I have to either change it out or something like this one. This is not a style that I'm feeling too tough. It's just too much for me. So let's use this one. Let's go up here and make him a second outfit. Now I want to put this hair on it because I want to also get rid of this hair. And then I'll make him another outfit and then I'll put that hair on it, okay? So all 3 of these hairs looks like it's time for them to go. I've outgrown them. And then I'll do the same thing. If I have like facial hair that I don't like anymore and I'm like, not feeling it. This one, to me, it's distracting because right here in this section, I see little ridges here that look like almost like wrinkles in the skin. I have OCD. To me, this is very distracting and I would not enjoy a sim walking around with this. I'm gonna add this to my get rid of list. All right, okay, so let's say you have them all dressed up, completely dressed in stuff that you don't want anymore, right? With tray files, it also has your builds too, right? So I think you can actually use this method with builds as well. Like you can make a build that's filled with just a bunch of CC items that you can't stand. You don't want to keep them in your game anymore. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit in before I forget. So once I get to this stage, I'm going to go ahead and save these guys to my gallery. So I'm going to save the household. All right, let's name you. Get rid of me. And then I have to give her some kind of aspiration. Don't pick an aspiration that is a custom aspiration that you added to your game. Pick a base game aspiration. This one, bodybuilder, I don't know. And then we'll give her just a simple trait that I know comes with the game. Because if I put like this, daydreamer, determined, these are custom ones. I think it will erase that stuff out of my game if I put it there. I don't know for sure, but I don't want to risk it, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Let's say she's all dressed. Is there anything else that I want to get rid of? Maybe there's some accessories or something I don't like, some random ass gloves. Like if this was CC, that would totally go on there because I never use stuff like this. All right, let's go ahead and save the household. Get rid of me. Household, save to my library. You can stop here or you can go into your game, right? Do the same thing with your builds, right? So you can just go ahead and make either rooms or lots and save them with all the hated CC, the outgrown CC, the outdated CC, the broken CC, the textures you don't like, whatever it is that you don't want. Go ahead and add it all to your build, and I think you can do the exact same thing with the build. You have to save it to your library. Now once that's done, I'm going to exit out of here. So I'm going to say cancel, clear out of my game. So now I'm going to shut my game down. Once I've done that, when I scroll to the top, my latest saves will be up here. So now when I click on the get rid of me household, you see them right here. To use Mod Manager, you have to have a general idea of like what it is that you're even looking for, right? Even the thumbnails. The thumbnails are a good solution, but if you have thousands of CC, you don't have time to be looking through all these freaking thumbnails. Some items just don't have a proper thumbnail, right? So you're gonna have to use your game to help you to find that stuff. This is basically giving you a snapshot of everything that you don't want in your game. Now what? You go here to the CC section, and now it's showing you every single piece of CC that is being used in this household. The yellow, this means that these are mods. They're not actual CC pieces, they're mods that are overriding something. I don't want to remove this stuff because these are defaults that I have in my game that just shows up for whatever, like I need this stuff. So we're not gonna mess with this, but everything that's here that's blue, I'm gonna look at. All of this, the blue stuff, is the stuff that is actual pieces of CC, just so you can double check. When you click on each item, see here in the corner, it gives you the thumbnail of each particular item that you selected, so you can double check and make sure that that's really what you want to get rid of. These two for some reason don't have thumbnails, but we know that those are the bathing suit pieces. Mod height slider, that's not something I want to get rid of. Good catch. So now I'm gonna go from here and I'm just gonna shift click down here. This is what I want to get rid of, not this height slider. Anything that's like a slider, an override, a default skin, default eyes, you don't want that stuff getting deleted if you use that stuff regularly. So just make sure you double check. We're gonna go ahead and right click. We're gonna show containing folder and look at all the folders that open up. All right, so now it's showing me that this is the braids here. So it's already highlighted for me. I'm just gonna hit the delete button and get rid of it. That's simple. X out of that, and everything that is highlighted is something from this section here that I'm looking at. So this is my actual mods folder that has been pulled up for me by this app. There's no way to distinguish anything here except for if I memorize every single piece's name, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and trust the process and delete that. That's the mod height slider thing. If that had popped up here, hopefully I would be paying close attention and realize I made a mistake in highlighting this and not delete that. So please pay attention when stuff pops up if it don't look right, because there's always room for error. So this is a very, very good app to use to manage your mods, especially if you have no idea which CC piece it is that you're trying to get rid of. So all of this is now gone from my game. Oh, you can filter like this too. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that makes things super easy. Okay, well, I didn't know that. This is for households, actual lots. It's a little bit of a lag here. Your rooms, so you can filter here to see. And that method that I showed you guys, you can actually use up to 8 Sims inside that household to do that. And they do have gallery uploaded households for you to do that with that are labeled as like CC, delete, family, or something like that. If you look up something like that, you know, you'll be able to find some people already made that have no CC, no clothes, no hair. They're just completely blank Sims, and you can just download them into your game and dress them in whatever you need to get rid of to help you to do this for tray importer. Like I said, I don't know exactly what else people will use this for, but when I go back into my game, you'll see that those pieces are all gone. And here in the mods manager, when I go look for those, like let's go look for those hairs. So those were black Sims hairs, so they were in this folder. Sorry, I gotta refresh. All right, so black Sims hairs, I'm gonna refresh. Okay, now they're gone. All right, so now when I go to these folders, you'll see that the boys' hairs are gone. Okay, so I don't need this folder anymore. I'm gonna delete it. But you see now all of those 3 hairs that were showing up here, once you refresh it, the thumbnails disappear, the files are gone. Those bathing suit pieces, which was coupled in with this, I don't see them anymore. So that's all I do to manage my mods. Doing it that way, I never have to bother with this ghastly folder at all. Like right here, I can create folders to help me with managing all of this stuff. Oh, this is another piece that I was gonna get rid of, wasn't it? I don't think I was paying attention. I didn't look for it. For example, this is not a shirt that I'll probably end up using or needing. So I'll just click on this and I can just go here, hit delete. It's gonna ask me if I'm sure I wanna get rid of it, and I'll hit delete, and then now that's gone. And if all of these I don't like, I can do it in mass. I can just highlight everything I don't want, go through all these pages, hit delete, and it'll ask me if I want to delete everything. I'll just say yes, and then I can get rid of them in bulk. I think this is the faster way to get rid of your CC that's unwanted, and that's why when I first download things, I always just keep them here in my mods folder unsorted until I have a chance to go into my game, mess around with it, see if the CC looks good, if it looks bad, if I don't like something, and I'll keep track of the stuff that I don't like. And then when I come back to here, I'll say, oh, I didn't like the way this eyeliner looked on, I didn't like the way that this looked, I didn't like how that looked, and then I'll get rid of it. Then after this folder, it's not really a folder, it's just the stuff that's in my mods folder unsorted. Once that stuff has been cleared out of this queue, that's when I'll go in and actually start to put them into individual folders where I want them to be at, right? And you can kind of hover over each piece and see it'll tell you the name of the files. Also, there's another feature here called CurseForge, and this actually links to your CurseForge account. So you can use CurseForge through the mod manager app. If I go to updates, it'll show me all of my CurseForge stuff that I have that need updates. So I can literally just directly update it from here, and it'll re-download the files that I need to make sure that they're updated properly. Automatically, it'll just end up in the folders where I already have them saved, so I don't have to worry about sorting them later. You can go to browse. This is like basically CC shopping. If you don't want to open up your CurseForge app itself and you just want to do it directly from here, then you can just go here, oh, I like this set, and hit download, and it will download all of these files for you into your game and see them here. And you can sort through them, decide what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of, move them into different folders, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's a combination of apps. It may seem like it's more complex because I'm using many different apps instead of just one thing to do this. But again, I told you guys, this is just my process. I'm very OCD. I need things to be in a specific kind of order so that I can manage these things. If I don't, I'll just have like an anxiety attack. So, or it'll be no fun for me playing the game because I'll get so obsessive trying to like fix things in the game as I'm playing that it'll slow my whole progress down. So this is the way that I have to do it in order for me to be able to like think straight. Let me know in the comments if there's any specific questions you have that I didn't answer in this video. If you need clarity on something, let me know. Again, I'm not a techie person. I don't know that much about computers and tech and all this coding and all of that stuff. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I just know what I need to do to get the result that I want, and the purpose of using these apps for me is to just manage my mods. I just want to be able to know what I have, get rid of stuff I don't want, import the things that I do want in a more streamlined fashion instead of sitting there copying and pasting and unzipping and doing this and doing that, and that's just too much. I can't do all of that. And this is also great for if you're like, do I have this piece already in my game? Do I need to download this? Mod Manager is my best friend, I swear. If it's something I see online and I'm like, do I have that? I don't know for sure. I'll just go in here and I'll start typing in the names of certain things, and then if I see it coming up, then I'm like, oh, I already do have this. Because, you know, if I downloaded something months ago, I may not remember. Like, do I already have this set of tattoos? I don't know. That's what I'll use this for. I hope this answers many a questions. I hope that I explain these things in a way that is easy to understand. And furthermore, if you want to get more information on any particular app that I mentioned, please go and do a YouTube search, because there's people who have made intricate tutorials. Now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a visual person. This just works a lot better for me. That's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope until then you are having yourself a good day. Make sure you give somebody a hug today. Find someone to give a hug to. They need it. They need it. You need it. And I'll see you guys next time. My name's Gypsy. Have a dolly day.